this MMA rules bout is the Fight of Nations finale. And takes place in the minus 77 kilogram welterweight division and will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. Your referee in charge when the action gets underway, Mr. Franco Kleeman. Fighters to the center, please, for your final instructions.
Guys, you know the rules. Listen to my comments all the time. Protect yourself all the time. If I say stop, it's stop. If you want to touch gloves, touch now. Step back.
These are the numbers. 28, place 23. Making his debut, pro MMA debut, Filip VIDAK. As I said, the least of the experienced fighters in terms of pro MMA, but in terms of striking and kickboxing, well, Filip VIDAK has that in spades. Fighting Southport ALEKSIC, he's got the IMAF amateur level skills, but has he got the boxing to deal with VIDAK?
And that's going to be one of the big questions, Will. VIDAK definitely has a lot of good looks on the feet, and I'm sure that ALEKSIC would have seen his last fight. He knows where the vulnerabilities are. Can he exploit it is a major part, I think, of the game plan.
So, having a look-see, ALEKSIC standing off, just trying to work out what VIDAK is trying to bring to this, but VIDAK is the one that takes it to the clinch and up on the wire first, which is interesting. And as I say, psychologically, VIDAK has that points win over ALEKSIC, so ALEKSIC is going to have to make up that ground.
Inside on the single knee shield defense there, lovely. Tries to crack him down, can't get it. Can he convert to potentially an upper body takedown here if he pummels? Good head pressure. ALEKSIC is fighting though with that knee shield, Will.
Yeah, ALEKSIC is doing very, very well on the wire. That's that experience in grappling at amateur level. But just look at this, using everything that he can. Short stomps, knee strikes, and ALEKSIC will need to work out the problems that he had in the first encounter and solve the problems here now. So, does it? Creates space. Now, can he outbox VIDAK? VIDAK brings up the high kick, and that's always the danger. The knee as well in on the inside. He's throwing big, throwing volume, and always working, VIDAK. Interesting that he's just got no professional statistics to show, but you can see the potential.
ALEKSIC is looking really nice southpaw. I like the hand fighting. He's got a little bit longer guard too, which I think is to his advantage against VIDAK. I'm impressed with the striking of ALEKSIC. They've worked on that a lot.
Settle down. Still just a little bit too static for me, ALEKSIC. Mind you, cutting some nice angles, and that's what makes the difference. It allows him to stay in the pocket as opposed to advancing forward and then retreating. It enables him to just throw the angle. So some good slipping here. And, he's not expending the energy that VIDAK is. VIDAK bringing the fight though. And interesting that ALEKSIC is slightly rangier, slightly taller. As you mentioned, that long guard, Chris, has put him in good stead. But the confidence ALEKSIC has, trying to work the counter, draw his man in and then punish him. That was great hands. Left, then a right uppercut. Now he's finding the shots, but I've got to say that VIDAK throwing some power behind those shots, but he's been caught out a couple of times right on the target, and that's always going to off-foot you.
Especially when ALEKSIC changes his stance. He's kind of swapping up, moving backwards, and then corking up on the left. Going left to the body, hands are low, and sometimes that left actually goes upstairs, just like that. Tricky, unorthodox even.
Not always on target, ALEKSIC. Certainly the more comfortable looking of the two, and the movement great, very fluid, very relaxed, but the guard just a little low, and he needs to have a care. And look at this. Oh, VIDAK follows through now, power punching, comes in for a double leg, takes his man down, successful, being held there in a headlock, but powers his way up, held in the guillotine. Oh, and look at that. ALEKSIC says, yeah, not worth any effort. I'm back to the boxing, and I think I've got a better chance here. And he looks good. Attempt at a reverse spinning back elbow from VIDAK. ALEKSIC sees it all coming, taking it all in his stride. It's nice work from ALEKSIC so far. VIDAK having to rush his man to make any impact, and that's maybe an alarming sign. He's getting outboxed here. Before he replaces the shield. Oh, that was sloppy, and that could cost.
Interesting. ALEKSIC again. Lovely counter there. He's just got a little bit of a step ahead in a lot of these things. They're both actually doing a lot of the same things. It's just ALEKSIC is just that little bit better. You can see on the feet, the boxing's working. There on the ground, there was an attempt from VIDAK, but ALEKSIC rolled through, threatened a leg entry, got underneath his base, and then scrambled hard to get on top. It's just very smart fighting. Slightly better fighting, more experienced fighting, I think, from ALEKSIC.
Well, that's the end of the first. I was a bit surprised at how ALEKSIC left his neck out to dry there. I mean, he just grabbed that so easily. But there's the end of the first. Interesting in that I was surprised to see that VIDAK was the one to try and initiate the first takedown to the ground. But we'll have a look at the replay here. Great footwork from ALEKSIC, I have to say.
And there's the left. You can see him switching up quite a bit. I think the switching footwork and switching hands made a huge impact. Another left. That was the best punch, I think, of the entire round. I've got that round for ALEKSIC. And like you said, Will, very surprised that VIDAK actually initiated the clinch, and it didn't work out. It's one thing to do something. It's even worse if it's not in your favor.
So, some damage to the face of VIDAK. He's taken some hits from ALEKSIC. Psychologically, that points win, decision win over ALEKSIC is going to help VIDAK, but only if he uses it to his advantage. Right, we go to 2 of a scheduled 3 here. And just to remind you that this is the Fight of Nations Path to Victory Season 2 MMA reality show final. And so a lot at stake here for these two. VIDAK headhunting now, trying to throw some big shots. And ALEKSIC happy to slip, stay in on the inside and work the counter. VIDAK trying to square off the ring, trying to make it difficult for ALEKSIC to find escape routes. But now ALEKSIC marches forward.
Stipe Miocic there in the crowd, I'm sure enjoying it, Will, but I'm kind of surprised at now the patience from ALEKSIC. VIDAK is definitely leading the dance, but it's just not working out for him. I feel like the pressure, the in-your-face movement is forcing him into positions where he's walking onto boxing, getting caught, like you said, in some of the wrong end of these trades.
Has to hurl himself into it to make it work, taking shots on the way, almost kind of, you know, a suicide run, taking too many to land one. But now he's closed it down and he's working the clinch, and that does surprise me that VIDAK is the one that's initiating this. So he's causing problems for ALEKSIC. Mind you, that's how he took the win before. He did a lot of wrestling and a lot of inside sort of grappling work. That was a nice move if it had worked, but 9 out of 10 for effort.
I just feel like the game plan from ALEKSIC has just been too prepared. They worked a lot on their striking. The southpaw boxing in particular is working out. Clinch defense, check. The odd little bit of harassment with the kicks, check as well. There's not a lot to threaten him from VIDAK.
Well, pace has slowed down a bit, and that's a shame because they looked quite bright, quite sharp at the first. This is a right hand there taken on the chin by VIDAK. He walks straight into it, and that's what he seems to be doing. The old happy to take the sacrifice shot to make it work, but you can only go to the well. Good work there from ALEKSIC. Gets the elbow to work, cracks in a couple of shots, and VIDAK so intent on taking his man down that he walks onto them. But he succeeded, and there from that top position might be able to work. But ALEKSIC, well, good bit of escapology so far.
Love that. He got the golden ticket there, just pulled the legs back, exposed the back, got the go around. But here, Tricky counter there. Outstanding. ALEKSIC actually trapped one of his legs, walked through, and basically just was able to swap positions and force side control. Now exposing the back, crab ride from reverse. Sneaky wrestling there from ALEKSIC. Again, I feel like VIDAK worked on his wrestling quite a bit in preparation for this fight, and ALEKSIC worked on his striking. And that's made that more competitive and a little bit messy at times. Nice ride here from ALEKSIC. He's got that double underhook control from the rear, continually mirroring and feeling out the movements to float and make him bear his weight. Now is the part where you break down the base. You see him trying to work the right leg, perfect. He was trying to destabilize it, but actually kicked to the back of the knee and then eventually went for the trip. Back exposure, I want to go for a hook here typically.
So ALEKSIC, can he take advantage of this position? He's not being left a lot. VIDAK straight up to the upright. Into a little sweep there, doesn't happen. And VIDAK, well, everyone clutching at straws here to try and get some grips, but that was lovely. Over the head, but he can't hold it. And he's in a lot of trouble in terms of collateral damage to the face. Walking onto the shots, VIDAK throwing the power. Now, can he make inroads? Goes again for the takedown. This is real grinding attritional work here. Does it, succeeds with the double leg, and now VIDAK gets a chance to ride on the back. Can he jump on and take the hooks? Yeah, he can, and he's got a good chance here if he can get an arm through. This is attritional work from VIDAK, you know, on the bell, just can't make it work. It was a tough round, Chris.
Exhausting round. Both guys are really feeling the pace of this. And again, I think VIDAK recovered very well, going out there, exposing the back, nearly capturing the back. It just shows you when you think one person's starting to kind of swing and gain some favor, the other guy recovers and starts to find some ascendancy. Ivan Arslan, Stipe Miocic, and Mirko Filipovic.
Well, there you go, the FNC Glitterati, Croatia's finest, all here tonight at FNC Arena Zagreb. That's a shot for posterity, if ever there was one. And the biggest camera of all, they've just spotted. Ivan Arslan, of course, well, he's a terror in his own lunchtime, isn't he, when he gets loose. So, we come now to the deciding round in this matchup. Chris, if you were to hazard against the scores.
Very challenging, that last round. That was the closest round of the night. I'm pretty sure ALEKSIC won the first, but I'm not entirely sure about that last one, Will. I think ALEKSIC is up. I think ALEKSIC 2018, but for sure, we can't count VIDAK out.
Well, I said earlier that Miran Fabian said that ALEKSIC reminded him of Giorgio Petrosian. I've still to see evidence of that, if I'm honest with you. However, that said, we've gone to round 3, the third and final round here of this matchup. The Fight of Nations final. Filip VIDAK. He fights in red. Veljko ALEKSIC. He fights blue. ALEKSIC has the advantage in that he has the back now of VIDAK, and stamping down on the ankles. Any and every nuance, pressure, element of difficulty they can cause for each other, they are doing it. And I think that VIDAK has got quite a nasty cut that's opened up, so that's going to be problematic for him. And that collateral damage, let's hope, doesn't cause the referee to call a stoppage, but it looks from the effects of it to be pretty bad. That's saying it. ALEKSIC is all over this now, and even though we're not seeing a lot of action, it's the weight that VIDAK has to carry of his opponent all the time now, bearing down.
And we've seen this a couple of times, that VIDAK has gone for a figure 4 counter. We saw it in the last round, we saw it just now, which kind of stalled the back attempt from ALEKSIC. made him slow it down, made him really just kind of wrestle first and make sure he didn't get that key lock on. Smart, very smart, and that's, I think, the slight difference is just being that little bit ahead in the fight. But that cut looks like that could be a real issue, Will, if this continues.
Yeah, and we've seen injuries. There's the gum shield again, and we've seen injuries. He's calling for it to be put back in, and in it goes. That was Andy. We've seen injuries like this that look a lot worse than they actually are. But I think Veljko Aleksic has caught wind of this and is trying to get some shots in to try and have access to make that worse if it's possible.
Really smart here from Aleksic. Again, you could see that VIDAK was potentially going to go for a leg lock, and he actually forced his head into the armpit. Again, his coaches said, look, don't get too aggressive here. Don't let him get underneath your base. Fight that left arm, which he did. He broke the wrist grab, and then he obviously forced his head in. Just very good defensive work.
Well, really attritional, as was the first outing. And none of them have got a magic bullet here. But this is one of those grinding attritional matchups that looks as if it's going to go the distance. They're going to have to squeeze out a win, and that's exactly what Aleksic is doing, working that rib cage, the floating rib, by putting the elbow, the forearm in, trying to weaken VIDAK. VIDAK under incredible pressure here, isn't he?
Serious pressure, just the forearm pressure, the shoulder of justice. There's a lot of things going on here where the coaches, for sure for Aleksic, are seeing this work. And if they think that VIDAK had a chance at stealing that middle round, you got to play it safe. And that's what's going on here, as Aleksic is going to clinch this round. I think undoubtedly he won the first. It's what's required. Pinning both shoulders, really staying heavy over the hips and half, not advancing out of this position, just making sure you fight the upper body, getting in the elbows, doing enough work, making sure you stay here and don't get stood up.
Well, as I say, every nuanced move, every hip movement, slide, weight redistribution, it's all counting, all notching up positional advantage. And Aleksic desperately trying to hang on to that top position. VIDAK trying to escape, but he has taken so much punishment here in this bout. Clock is ticking away. Going to be a very tight call, but I think, Chris, you're right, Aleksic has probably done enough. He's dominated, and in that side control, well, he's in a half guard in top position there. Referee has restarted them. Now, this is a chance for VIDAK to pull a rabbit out of the hat if he can. All those striking skills that he's got, now's the time he needs them, because he needs to put an end to this. We're on 10 seconds, and they're trading, and that's not going to suit VIDAK at this late stage. There it is, and without a doubt Aleksic lifts his hands, and I don't think there can be any confusion about that.
I agree. He did a nice job there of stopping the re-guard and the shrimp from VIDAK. Aleksic at the end, free punches, especially with the compromised vision of VIDAK. I think it's going to be a very clear decision win here for Veljko Aleksic. Strong performance, smart performance. Listened to his corner, slowed the fight down, did what he needed to do to get the win.
So here, a chance to look at some of the action. VIDAK head down, launching in, trying to bull rush his opponent. The only success he gets from it is that knee strike, and then the chance at the shoot with the double legs, which was effective in getting his opponent to the ground. But once he was there, well, that's when the effectiveness ran out. So you can see he needs a bit of tidying up before he gets back for the photo finish here. But I think we can be safe in saying that without a doubt, this bout goes in favor of Veljko Aleksic.
ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 3 rounds of grueling action, we go to your judges' scorecards where we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges in agreement with your winner. In the blue corner, Veliko ALEKSIC!
Overwhelmingly emphatic win there for ALEKSIC. 2-0, goes to 3-0 now. And VIDAK, well, back to the drawing board. Miran Fabian, FNC legend, in the ring to represent VIDAK. But great win there for ALEKSIC. And there's the check for the winning team, and the winner now of the Fight of Nations Path to Victory Season 2 MMA reality show competition. So 10,000 euros, that'll come in handy to the team. Good night in the office. What do you know, what do you say? So Team Joker, Alexander Ilic on tonight's card. So let's see if he can continue the success story.